Good morning. Welcome to a further reading from Walking Slowly Downhill. This morning I'm reading the account of the 48th day, 48 of 96 days of a walk along the River Murray in 2015. 48th day. I'm in Mildura again. The garden is surviving the heat, but then it's still October. There's a long way to go before the summer ends, and then there's autumn. The cypresses have grown at least 10 centimetres through this year. I'm here for a meeting. Meeting's soon over, but it's hard to leave. Someone is singing tonight at Deacon 25. There's a guitar and a double bass. Lights too, coloured ones. I try and hear her voice, but too many people are talking, laughing, shouting. I walk into the warm night air and drive Steve's transporter home. I walk through the cool garden and through the front door. Then I walk through the house, switching lights on. Later, I turn on the TV. I watch Al Pacino trying to escape his East Harlem gangster life. He has a couple of air tickets, one for his girlfriend and one for him, but he can't do it. His former life keeps dragging him back. He's in a nightclub now, music, laughter, dancing, but they're after him. He flees into the subway station, but it's too late for him. Before I know it, I turn the TV off. I don't want to see him fail. "49th day, waikere to Sturt Highway. This morning I drove back from Mildura to Waikere Caravan Park. I do some shopping at the Foodland store in town, drive into the park and then stash the food away in all the right places in the caravan. Fridge, fruit bowl, cupboard. I begin walking in the late afternoon today. It's hard going, even after a single day's break from my routine. The western side of Waikere is dry and brittle. All stones, dry earth and stunted vines. A cool wind blows in from the west. I walk along the perimeter of a vineyard. This one is watered from above head height by sprinklers attached to poles. The spouts jag backwards and forwards along the edge of the vines. I close my eyes and walk as straight as I can by brushing the leaves with my hand. As I do, I allow the occasional jet to hit me full in the face and chest and legs. I maintain the same walking pace and so evade the rhythm of the sprinklers, but soon it realigns itself to my steps. Instantly, I'm drenched. The southern edge of the vineyard extends for a kilometre or so, and I continue this loveliest of games until the very end. Then I walk onto the open road, smiling with delight. The sun and wind coursing through the highway's open spaces dry me far too quickly. And even though it's road closest to the river's flow, it's also the national highway, with all kinds of transport vehicles rushing by, even on a Saturday afternoon. I stop to tie up my shoelace and look up just in time to see a B-double veering onto the emergency lane. It's racing directly towards me, but steers sharply back onto the asphalt at the last second. I don't break my step and keep walking, but it's just a defensive reaction to the adrenaline that courses through my body. When my steps eventually falter, I stop by a crossroad to eat my last orange. So, why am I still walking? My thoughts now go to those on the other side of the world who walk to save either their own life or that of their children. But theirs is a walk for survival. What would I do later this afternoon if Steve wasn't picking me up in 30 minutes? Where would I find somewhere to sleep What would I eat? I look down at the ground and see my legs pushing on and on. I look at the sparse landscape around me, all saltbush now, interspersed by a few scrubby trees. It feels like I'm hundreds of kilometres from anything, but I'm just outside Waikere. There's a sign ahead of me pointing visitors to the Waikere Golf Club. My mind is simply refusing to answer difficult questions. I wonder what the menu is like at the golf club. So many paradoxes, so many conflicts, so many dissociations, so many contradictions, all brought up simply by walking a long distance, day after day. I've tried in my own life since that walk to find a similar kind of rhythm, a similar kind of constant, continuous application to an idea. Life is very disruptive though, everyday life. You've got to make the space to allow that to happen. Thursday morning in Mildura, a very still morning, just awaiting the storm that's about to come. More rain. A strange reaching out, this, isn't it? A strange way of connecting with anyone that might look at this and listen. Maybe a tiny glimpse into my life is of some value. A moment of reflection, perhaps. Would be wonderful to welcome anyone, everyone that's ever looked at one of my readings into my home for one occasion, into this garden, into my house and my studio, and to spend some time with me, but that would prove to be impossible, I'm sure. But that's certainly my yearning right this second, to actually meet you all. Until tomorrow for the next reading. Have a peaceful afternoon.